If I Were, episode 6. If I were a second moon hiding behind the known moon, I'd be really good at hide and seek. If I were a surgeon, I'd be in big trouble. If I were a flying shark with a laser, I would die because I wouldn't be able to live without water. Duh. If I were a talking donkey, I'd be a talking ass. This isn't a very funny start. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Come on, Alex! If I were a beach mat, you'd lay your body all over me. And I'd protect you from sand chafing. If I were a coyote, I would howl every time I saw you. If I were the second rope in a wrestling match involving Velvet Sky, check out her entrance. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. I would get some type of infection. If I were in possession of my own resort on my own island, I'd walk around naked. If I were an instrument in an orchestra, I'd be a trombone. Take that as you will. If I were a pet, I'd be the best damn thing that's ever happened to you. Or a giga. If I were a whale suspended in midair, people would be like, Rosie, you're blocking my sun. If I were Dorothy from Kansas, I'd move. If I were my laundry, I would have a lot of me. If I were to wake up the next morning covered in glitter and a little red skirt on my floor, I would look for the girl to see if I had good judgment. If I were waiting at the altar with my bride walking to me, be like, come here, girl. If I were to suddenly remember what happened just as I was being born, I would take a shower. If I were a ninja that could transform into fruit, I'd be Fruit Ninja. If I were able to do sexy jutsu like Naruto does, what does that mean? If I were the most distracting thing in the world, I would be a squirrel. Everybody looked at squirrels. You can't deny that. If I were to be in a wrestling match with 4 other people, it depends. Is there an audience? If I were a vampire that only ate ketchup, that had a servant trying to make me a normal vampire with a nanny. What? If I were a vampire that only ate ketchup, that had a servant constantly trying to make me a normal vampire with a nanny. Vampire that only eat ketchup. He tried to make me suck the nanny to become normal? Wow, that just sounds bad. If I were engaged to Fran Drescher, I'd sign a prenup. Bitch ain't getting my money. If I were the grandson of Betty White, I kind of have an odd grandma crush on Betty White, so I don't want to answer this question. If I were so ticklish that everything tickled when tickled, I would look like I was having a stroke. If I were Darth Vader, I would have James Earl Jones's voice. Oh, that would be awesome. If I were a ballerino, that's like a ballerina. I'd wear a lot of tights. If I were Robin Hood, I'd wear a lot of tights. If I were a shapeshifter, I would shift my shape into polygons. They're underrated. If I were a giant nose, you making fun of me? If I were a cop, I'd oink. If I were someone's abs, I'd be Zach Galifianakis's. That way I'd just be so cozy under the covers. Of fat. If I were to kiss each person hello that I see, I'd use tongue. If I were to find out that my parents bought me from the black market, I would understand why I like hip-hop so much. Racist? No. I can get jiggy with it. Nah, 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 nah.